Okay, we're gonna come for effort number 2. So we're gonna show you this first video, and we're just gonna go with that.
We'll see. Thanks for watching.
So here we go.
Also tell you that my great-grandfather is a full-blooded Cherokee Indian.
Now, here's me.
It's like my 5th attempt at this, so hopefully this will be it. I'm also going to make a second part to this video without the creator part. Now, the creator is the lady at the end. Go follow her. The lady at the beginning of the video, she's kind of part of the problem. Alright? And I don't mean no disrespect to her, because I am part Cherokee. But, you know, everybody and their mama is part Cherokee. And
okay, let's stop it there. And the reason why we're stopping is there because part 2 is still editing. It's not going to be used now. But we're going to jump to this part right here. Alright, so one, you know, for the most part, everybody who's been with me from the beginning, you pretty much know that I'm part Native. Alright? You also know how I found out that I was part Native via ass whoopings and bars of soap making a canoe. And the thing with that is, that was probably the beginning. You know, that was probably the true beginning of my journey. I just wasn't smart enough to realize it. You know, no, that's not a revelation for today. So, as you also know, if you've been with me most of my life, I've been raised black. So, you know, it is what it is. And very few members of our family really dig into our heritage and they just want to be black, which is cool. I have no problem with that. But I'm more than that. And yes, there are 2 peanut butter cookies here that I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to brush my teeth. But before we get into that, we're going to get into this. The thing is, you know, there's a lot of things going on Native TikTok. There's a lot of things going on in the Native communities in general. And they're not being addressed. As an actor, I have taken the name of Echo Fang Grey Wolf to represent my Native heritage. If I am lucky enough to be accepted or adopted by a tribe after I do the genealogy test, the blood quantum test, another DNA test. You see where we're going here? I have to prove my indigeneity to not only natives, but non-natives and people who are running the BIA. For those who do not know what the BIA is, excuse me, that is the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Now, Canada has one too, but I don't know the name of it, but I'm not Canadian. And then, you know, with everything going on in the world and everybody's always hollering, well, if you hate America so bad, leave. We have a problem. I can't leave. My blood roots are here. Not just my black roots or my white roots, but my Native roots are here in America. Alright? And I would have never started my reconnecting journey, really, if it wasn't for another Native and black individual. Now, he was darker than me. But he had all Native features. He had the nose, which I don't have. He had the high brow, everything. I'm just losing hair. But I have the high cheekbones, and I have the facial structure. And I have probably a decent enough skin tone to be a dark-skinned Native or a middle color Native. You know, there's a color wheel for Natives, too. I recently found that out. But I just thought it was a myth until I started like really looking into Native TikTok. And yeah, there's a color wheel with light-skinned and dark-skinned Natives fighting each other. And I fall somewhere in the middle, just like I did all my life with blacks and whites. And being accused of being a race traitor for both groups. You know, long story. But this is about my Native culture, my Native heritage, the stuff that I was robbed of. Now, on my dad's side, I'd have more Native connection, not through his family, but through the stories that his grandmother, my great-grandmother, Ada Wallace Ford, told me. So, neither one of her last names are Native. Wallace is not a Native name. Ford is not a Native name. She married a Ford, alright, which gave my grandmother, Clara Bay, the last name Ford, and then she married a Williams, i.e., my government name is James Williams Jr. Alright? Now, on my mom's side, we know my grandmother's either part Native or all Native. We don't know for sure because she was adopted and raised black. See the clusterfuck there? So I did a Damn it. It's not 23andMe. Ancestry. I did an Ancestry. And according to Ancestry, I'm more of a white man than a native or a black man. Which doesn't really seem right, but okay. But also, they're looking into seeing what happened, and they're, guess they're going to get back with me. But I think what it is they really want me to pay them to do more stuff. And I don't have any money. The person that sent me the Ancestry, that was a gift. And I thank her very much for that. We will leave names off. Not just for her privacy, but for her safety and all that other bullshit. So, let's go back to when I started talking to the brother, who's also native, about Reconnecting Journey. This man insisted. He literally told me that I was a full native and that I needed to go and do all the stuff that I'm doing right now. And I literally told him, no, if anything, I'm a third. And he's like, no, you look full native. I was like, well, it looks like deceiving, brother. He's like, yeah, I'm half native. But still, I'm part native and you need to go do this. So to that military guy, I thank you. And thank you for not telling me the hell that I would be going through to prove to people that I'm part indigenous. Alright? Yes, I know they can see it on my face. How do I know this? Because I've told you guys this 10,000 times before, that when I was 16 years old and I was working at Kegler's, there was a white dude. I'm not going to say he was a racist. I might say he was a little bit of an emotional damage. And he kind of emotionally damaged me. He wouldn't stop calling me Chief for 3 years. Every weekend. Yeah, my name was on my shirt. And he kept calling me Chief. So this spawned a whole lot of problems. This also spawned things where people would ask me when I applied for jobs, and I would put down black. And people would think that I was Mexican or Hawaiian. And I would tell them, no, I am of Cherokee, black, and white descent. And a couple of times I went to apply for jobs and I put down black, and some people looked at me like I was insane. I was like, are you sure you're black? And I'm like, ma'am, first, my birth certificate says Negro. Doesn't matter what you see out here. I don't want to be fired before I get hired. So I put down black because my birth certificate says so. I was born in 73, so they didn't have a whole lot of options on what to call mixed children, other than the word abomination, because some people believe that us mixed children are abominations. I did a video about it. I may have to do another one. It doesn't have any views, but most of my videos don't have any views. But that's not the point. The point being made is that, you know, I am of mixed ethnicity. And since I favor more natives, and working under the name James Williams Jr. for the last 21 years in acting has gotten me nowhere. So I've changed my name to Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Deal with it, because that's the name I'm going by for acting purposes mostly. But all my checks must say James Williams Jr., which I still got to call Aquafina about that, but that might have to wait until Tuesday. Not Aquafina the actor, the World Company. Now, let's get to the guts and glory of this video. The young lady in the video that I showed you at the beginning, I can't say she's not native. I can't. I won't. I don't know. But the lady at the end of the video, the creator, I can say she's native. But I'm mixed native. I don't know if the lady at the beginning is mixed native or not. But she does have the hand thing and the paint, which goes to the purpose of why the creator made this, because people have been using indigenous stuff to promote themselves more ways than myself. But being that I'm indigenous by blood, I think I can actually use it. I don't know about that lady. I do know about the creator in the video. She's actually native. So, therefore. But this has been a problem, because everybody and their mother are Cherokee. Right? And I come from the go-to tribe of Cherokee. Cherokee is the go-to tribe. Let's see if Google can either prove me right or prove me wrong. So let's do that. Ooh, Caesar has a new album. I have to cop that whenever I get some money. Where is the Cherokee Nation from? Oklahoma.
According to Cherokee Nation, originally located in the southeastern United States in parts of Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina, the Cherokee Nation was forced to relocate to Indian Territory in 1838 after gold was discovered in our homelands.
Now this thing says, what nationality is Cherokee? This is where we have some problems. The Cherokee are North American Indians of Iroquois lineage. Now, this is where I'm going to get fucked up. What is the difference between Cherokee and Iroquois? It says nothing, so I have to read it. What are the key differences between Cherokee and Iroquois? What are the key differences between Cherokee and Iroquois? Why do you keep repeating? Why don't you just tell me what the fuck it is? Why is this voting? I don't have anything to do about voting. Just off the top of my head, somebody please, if I get anything wrong. Okay, there's like a box of shit. And it's not giving me what, okay. Are Cherokee and Iroquois the same? Cherokee are part of the Iroquois language family. Today, the Iroquois is a group of 6 tribes living in the Great Lake regions of the United States and Canada. Linguistically, say they are sometimes around 3,500 years ago. The Cherokee people lived there as well, which means we migrated south, which would explain that. Okay, Greenfield Lake, Wyoming, North Carolina, 1950, the Cherokee, members of the Iroquois language group descended of the native people who occupied the South Appalachian Mountains, began to approximate by 1500 BC. The decent language had developed. And there's a lot of shit here that we're not going to get into, because I was just hoping that Google, who is not my friend, would just like feed y'all the information that y'all needed to know. Alright? And there are Mohawks in Virginia. One of my friends is a Mohawk. Anyway, he's also a person who had to calm me down from going after some natives that called me unpure blood. Anyway, so we're going to use Google one more time after I chill on this cookie. Where did the Trail of Tears begin?
According to Study.com, where does the Trail of Tears start and end? The Cherokee Trail of Tears started in the area around the Appalachian Mountains, which includes the states of North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama.
Okay. Now this is an important fact. How did Cherokee get in Virginia?
According to Virginia Places, ultimately traders adopted the Occaneechi path to link the English in Virginia with various Cherokee towns in the Tennessee River watershed.
And now y'all see why I was confused. Because the first thing it said that Cherokee were from North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Which means to go to Georgia, you got to go through South Carolina. Okay? Unless I'm completely wrong on this map. Yeah, I'm completely right. I don't know how to make this thing bigger. This shit's still... This is why I hate technology. I don't know if you guys can see that, which you probably can, but Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and also Tennessee. And Tennessee, the bottom of it, is connected to Virginia. Okay? And then Google just gave you all that information. So Cherokee actually have come out of Virginia. Alright? So that's why I was confused. But I think it was probably under Iroquois. You know, I know I just threw a curveball in there and took this completely off topic, but there was a reason for that, and we're about to get to it. A lot of people that I've met that don't look like me, that are white passing, could very well be Cherokee or Mahonic, Mohawk, Tappahannock, Rappahannock. There's a lot of native tribal people here in Virginia. Just none of them are Cherokee. You see the issue that I have here? I would love to be Mohawk, or at least to be accepted by them, so that I can prove my indigeneity. The problem is I'm not Mohawk. I belong with the Cherokee. I'm not insulting Mohawk or any other tribe around here. But if I'm part Cherokee, I belong with the Cherokee. Now, again, the problem is that everybody in their mama are part Cherokee. There are very few famous Cherokee actors. Let's call them up. Famous Cherokee actors.
Actors frequently mentioned on the web include Johnny Depp, Chuck Norris, Wes Studi, and others.
Okay. So, they have Cher listed here. And I always thought that Cher was like Jewish or something. They also have Johnny Depp mentioned here. I don't know how much truth is into that, per se. But I don't know how much truth that Chuck Norris is either. But I also know that the only person on here that I know for sure is like total Cherokee is Wes Studi. Okay? Long live Wes Studi. This is Wes Studi. Okay? So I know for a fact he's Cherokee. Okay? I know for a fact that he's Cherokee. I don't know where he's from, but I know for a fact that he's Cherokee. There are other natives that are also Cherokee, but he is the most famous Cherokee. Now, here's the problem. Cherokee go from Virginia to Georgia and Tennessee to Oklahoma. And I guess they didn't stay long because I'm in Virginia. Alright? And both my grandmothers, one full-blooded Cherokee, one not. And when I say that, one of my great-grandmother, rather, is full-blooded Cherokee. I don't really know if Bay's full-blooded or not. But they're both dead, so it doesn't matter. And my living grandmother is still alive, but we have different shades of color in her family. Now, you will meet people all over the world. Let me rephrase that. All over America, who slightly look like me. But we're all Cherokee. Every fucking one of us, we're Cherokee. You ask somebody what native they, and it's the first thing that they have. We're Cherokee. So, no one's Kiowa. No one's Rappahannock. No one's Tappahannock, unless you like really know that tribe or whatever. But everybody's Cherokee. Cherokee had a song. Cherokee people. And I think that might have been the turning point where everybody just decided we're going to be Cherokee. Google, what's the inspiration for the Cherokee people song?
According to Wikipedia, Nash Vegas radio show about the origins of the song Indian Reservation, he fabricated the story that he wrote the song after his car was snowed in by a blizzard and he was taken in by a small group of Cherokee Indians.
Y'all heard that. He fabricated the song. What? It's a good song. It's a really good song. And then it also was one more thing. It made me not want to be Cherokee. I'm about to explain that. One of the times I got picked on for being part Cherokee, you know it, somebody broke down. Cherokee people, Cherokee tribe, so hard to live, so hard to die. Cherokee people, Cherokee tribe. Go Google it. I'm sure it sounds way better than the crap that just came out of my mouth. It's not that I am ashamed of being Cherokee. It is that I don't want people to say that I'm not a real Cherokee. Which is why I'm trying to do all these damn tests so I can prove my ingenuity so that I can stop having to deal with the BIA after this crap. Hell, if I can get my native card and all this other stuff, which my native card will be saying Echo Fang Grey Wolf, because I'm gonna use the argument of Chinese immigrants and Chinese American, how they can have their Chinese name and their American name. So I'm gonna use that argument for my favor, and I'm just gonna let them know my native name is Echo Fang Grey Wolf. My public name from this point on is Echo Fang Grey Wolf, which is why when I address you on this channel as Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Now, there are many stories that I could put to that. Here's one. Let me know if you think it's cool. See, the wolf has great standings in a lot of tribes, especially gray wolves. So, to honor my native blood, I took Grey Wolf as my last name. Not to be mistaken with Great Wolf. He's not a Cherokee, to my knowledge. Echo, because my ancestors echoed through time. And they let me know that they are with me. Okay? Fang, because I fight and I have claws like fangs. And I'm not afraid to use them. Most of the time. I'm more afraid of the consequences. Now, for argument's sake, that's just bullshit. For honor's sake, still bullshit. The truth of the matter is, it just came to me. It didn't come to me in a dream or anything. It just came to me. Now, what my other names were, I was Brandon Kamer. I was Fang something or another. I can't remember what the hell the last name was. And then I just stuck with Echo Fang Grey Wolf. And I was like, yeah, you know, this actually sounds pretty good. And it's pretty much in alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. E, F, G. Echo Fang Grey Wolf. So, kind of came to me. I didn't think about the alphabetical order until like 8 months in. Which is why when you see my my TikTok, it has James Williams Jr., aka EFG. And if you go to my backup account, it has EFG as an Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Now, back to the topic at hand, because I know I done took you guys on a bizarre ass journey. Alright? I'm sorry about that. But everyone who claims to be native has often claimed to be Cherokee. It is a horrible thing. And I understand if you don't know, because I didn't fucking know. And you know, I know that I was part native. And then we were told we're Cherokee. But maybe we're not Cherokee. Maybe we're something else. But we are from Virginia. There are a lot of other tribes in Virginia outside of Cherokee, but Cherokee is what I was told. Now, I did research on my great-grandmother, and they have her listed as Mulatto. But she's full-blooded native. But I also can Google Mulatto. Why were Native Americans listed as mulatto? So mulatto and American Indians. So Native American as mulattoes. Alright. So we got this thing. Well, I can't open the damn thing. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so I'll read what I can see. Native Americans as mulatto. Rutherford recognized in 1927 that African mixtures had taken place of slaveries and that Indian slaves were gradually absorbed into black. Okay? Now the other one, mulatto and native, or mulatto and Indian Americans, or Native American GUAR. From the earliest census of the term mulatto, or free people of color, was used to describe individuals of mixed race which also included mixed-blooded Americans. Now, you go further down, American Indians in the Federal Dissemination Census of 1790 to 1930, which my great-grandmother was born somewhere in there, I'm sure. A microfilm records that National Archives catalogs additional resources prior to the 1900s, Indians included, and it won't let me open up none of this shit. Chapter 1, Race of Multiracial Americans in the United States. This goes back to the census in 1790, has included questions about racial identity, but ways in which race is asked. For some reason, this shit will not let me open any of these damn things. This is why I freaking hate fucking technology. Hey Google, what's mulatto?
According to Wikipedia, Alyssa Michelle Stevens, professionally known as Latto or Big Latto, is an American rapper from Atlanta, Georgia.
That is not what I asked. Hey Google, what is the race mulatto?
According to Wikipedia, multiracial people are people of more than one race or ethnicity.
Gonna read the rest? Various terms have been used in multiracial people, including mixed race, biracial, multi-ethnic, and American polyethnic. Occasionally, I had to go to Wikipedia for the rest. And I gotta find it. Occasionally, bi-ethnic. Alright? This got a whole bunch of blue shit. Individuals of multi-racial backgrounds may make up a significant portion of the population in many parts of the world of North America. The studies have found that multiracial population continuing to grow in many countries of Latin America may still make up the majority of the population in the Caribbean. Multiracial people occasionally make up the majority of the population in both the Dominican Republic. Okay, yeah, my reading sucks, I know. I'm slightly dyslexic, so, and my video can load on TikTok, which sucks ass. Now, I want you guys to understand, especially since I've gone off topic again, I want you guys to understand it wasn't intentional. It was just trying to get some help from freaking Google, which, like, totally failed. So, I want you to understand, you're going to meet people in the world today, someday, any day, and they're going to say that they are part native because that's the world we live in. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've had people bump into me and literally call me out on my nativeness. Like, yo man, you're part native, right? Yeah, well, what kind of native are you? And just like me, I'm sure you and 20,000 other people will say, Cherokee. Why? Because it's also the easiest damn name to pronounce. Because a lot of people can't say Iroquois. Yeah. Or they don't want to be Creek. Or they don't want to be Comanche or Cheyenne or Seminole. I'm in Virginia. I'm pretty sure those are in there because the Seminole Trail goes through here. But, you know, hey, what can I say? I know that I'm not Comanche. I know that I'm not Cheyenne. I know that I'm not Apache. I know that I'm not Lakota. I know that I'm not Hopi. And I know I'm not Kiowa. But I'm from one of these tribes in Virginia. Somewhere. So, but most people, when you meet them, whether they are actual native or not, if they're native and they're white passing, and then something comes up and then they decide they want to be native, most of the people holler out that they're Cherokee. Alright? You don't have to believe me. I'm not picking favorites. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just letting you know. 9 times out of 10, you've probably met someone who's kin to a Cherokee princess. And that's been a thing forever. I have never, ever in my life said that I was kin to a Cherokee princess. Because I knew my great-grandmother was not a princess. When I talked to Ada, she told me stories about her and her brother John running through the woods in their moccasins and not going to a white school or a black school, but a school for natives. Now I'm just learning about this residential shit. So I don't know if they went to a residential school or not. I don't know if there's any residential schools in Virginia. I will have to look into that. But I do know that I have a great uncle named John. I'm sure he's dead by now because Ada died when I was fucking 12. And I'm 48 now. But she gave me great stories. She, I guess she lost her battle with diabetes. And I guess that's what killed her. I don't really know because my dad's not here to tell me what killed her. I do know that I didn't go to her funeral. And I thought that I was being haunted by her for quite some time. But it's a long story. And it's for another day. It's probably going to be one if I live long enough to have children for that. But freaking, she used to tell me all kinds of stories. You know, she told me legends. She told me all kinds of stuff. I have her hatchet, but it's not a tomahawk. It's literally just an axe. But it's in the closet. So, that's all I have of her. I have video of my grandmother, but the axe belonged to her mother. And I plan on keeping it until I pass. But, she gave me great stories. And if you talk to my aunts, Ada was not happy about the darker grandchildren. She liked the light-skinned grandchildren. And my aunt, she pointed that out. She said, well, you know, she didn't really like us because we was dark. But she loved all of y'all because y'all was light-skinned. Y'all looked more like her. And I didn't really know how to receive that. You know, I still don't really know how to receive it. But 9 times out of 10, when you meet somebody who's part Native, and y'all can test this theory. Now, don't get it twisted, because they actually might be part Native. They might just be white passing, and they may actually be part Cherokee. But it has been the go-to race for anybody claiming to have indigenous roots. Everybody has claimed to be Cherokee. It has gotten so bad with this that even the natives on TikTok have passed jokes about Cherokee, how we were sex freaks and busy and trying to get the land back one colonizer at a time. So, yeah, it's a thing. I'm sorry. If anybody out here is watching and you're Cherokee, this is not my fault. It's just something that I caught off a native TikTok, an indigenous TikToker. I know he was joking. I'm not going to reveal his name, but he was joking, and he's like, yeah, you part Cherokee? And the girl says, yes. You Cherokees get around, man. You guys are the horniest natives ever. Everybody's kin to you guys. Anyway, that's how the joke goes. So don't take that shit the wrong way. Everybody play nice. Be grateful. I am grateful that I am part Native. I'm still trying to figure out if it's going to be Cherokee, Iroquois, or some other tribe in Virginia. So before I go, we're going to do one last thing. I'm going to brush my teeth. Oh, fuck, that's the wrong button. No, I don't want that. Thank you. How many federally recognized Native American tribes are in Virginia?
7 federally recognized tribes. According to Rappahannock Tribe, the Native American tribes in Virginia are the indigenous tribes who currently live or have historically lived in what is now the Commonwealth of Virginia in the United States of America. As of January 29, 2018, Virginia has 7 federally recognized tribes.
Okay. How many non-federally recognized tribes live in Virginia?
According to WHSV, only 2 tribes in Virginia, the Pamunkey and the Mattaponi, have reservations. Both reached treaties with colonial authorities in the 17th century to maintain tribal lands, and yet the Mattaponi do not have federal recognition.
It is a big process, and it takes a lot of time and money to do it. Okay. So now we know there are 7 federally recognized tribes in Virginia, and not one of these damn things is Cherokee. So let's do one last thing. Is Cherokee a federally recognized tribe, and how many are there?
According to Cherokee Phoenix, there are only 3 federally recognized Cherokee tribes in the U.S. the Cherokee Nation and the United Kituwa Band of Cherokee Indians, both in Tahlequah, and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians in North Carolina.
Okay. Now you guys see why my work's cut out for me. Are there any Cherokee reservations in Virginia? This is a big fat no.
According to Virginia Places, No federal reservations for Native Americans have ever been created in Virginia, because no treaties were signed between Virginia's tribes and the federal government to end a war.
Okay, where did the Cherokee tribe live in Virginia? Cherokee is occupied the Mountains Valley, southwest Virginia, and along the banks of Nottoway River and near North Carolina border. During this, I don't know what the hell is that even at? Y'all see this stuff I'm going through on my reconnecting journey? So, in case you happen to bump into a native, and they happen to tell you that they're part Cherokee, now you know why the confusion. Thank you for watching. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Be seeing you. If I can find the cursor.